Welcome back, guys, from our last courses, Instagram and TikTok, with over 100,000 students, great reviews from you guys, and now we're jumping back into Instagram, Reels in particular. So as you know, it's been a couple years since our last Instagram course, and we felt it was time to come in with an update, particularly Instagram Reels. So after our TikTok course, we got great reviews talking about our video work and short form content, which is something we've wanted to bring back into Instagram now that Instagram has added Reels to their platform, which is basically the exact same thing as TikTok integrated into the Instagram platform. So what are Reels and why do we care about them? Reels are a segment in the Instagram app, focused around short form content very similar to TikTok. As you can see, the leading platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all of them are implementing this short form content similar to Reels since it's the next wave of social media. And we want to learn these skills and ride that wave, so as a brand, we could stay on that marketing trend. So real quick, I'm just going to take you guys in and show you where and how these Reels operate. So here I am on our profile, on the Social Savvy profile. So if we go over to the home page, which is down there in the bottom, you can see the first video already is someone posting a Reel. As you can see on the bottom tab here, there's now a Reels section, which is basically a TikTok style feed. So it's an endless scrolling feed. So immediately it shows a video, and if you swipe from the bottom to the top, it scrolls to the next one. So the way this algorithm is designed is to endlessly scroll on your phone. It's to trap you into them. So as you can see, swiping from the bottom to the top, it just goes to a new video and a new video and a new video. So on this feed where I'm just scrolling, I don't follow any of these users. This is basically an explore feed, or very similar to TikTok, a For You page. So all of these are suggested from Instagram to my account. As you can see, we have a ton of food clients already, so we get a lot of food style videos. So as we continue to scroll, it'll continuously show me new accounts that Instagram is recommending to me. So it's very important to niche down your content, which we will talk about in a later episode. But as you can see, it is showing me all the same style of content because it knows that's what I'm interested in. So the average user scrolls through Reels very quickly. You know, you're not watching every single video to the very end. So what we really try to do is capitalize on those first few seconds. As you can see, it becomes very easy to scroll through this feed super quickly. So now I'll show you on the Explore feed, Instagram's Explore feed. So if you click this little magnifying glass in the bottom, you could see now it's a larger Explore feed with photos and videos. But for the most part, Reels kind of run the platform at this point. So on the Explore feed, you could see every single piece of content on there is a video. We're no longer in the day and age of still photos, and this is exactly what we're here to help you with. So if we go back to our own profile, which is there in the bottom right corner, you could see our entire feed. If you swipe over to the right in the middle area, you see all of our Reels, which is for the most part what we're posting all the time. This is a dedicated tab on every account, just for Reels in particular. And just to give you guys some stats, there's over 2 billion active monthly users on Instagram, specifically Reels. All right, guys, so without further ado, let's jump into the first episode, which is crafting a winning Instagram Reel strategy. Welcome to episode 1. We're going to be talking about crafting a winning Instagram Reel strategy. Let's get into it. First topic of the day is going to be understanding your audience and setting clear goals. What it means to understand your audience is finding your niche. So here's our top 3 ways of finding your niche. So I'm going to hop back on the Instagram app, screen recording now. Scroll. So 1, what are some keywords that are relative to my brand? So we're going to use a bakery as the example for this one. So if you're a bakery, what are some keywords that are relative to your brand? Baking, croissants, sweets, desserts, savory, pastries, coffee, things that you provide from your brand. So I'm just gonna search a few of those keywords. And this could be for any brand. If you're a personal trainer, a car wash, a restaurant, this strategy will always apply. But for this, we're gonna use the bakery as an example. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start searching keywords that are relative to my brand. I'm gonna start it off with bakery. Then I'm gonna search bakery. As you can see up top, it says bakery, which I just typed in, and then there's for you, there's accounts, there's tags, as in hashtags that are relative to bakery, there's places, there's reels at the very end. So as you can see, I just typed in bakery, and now there's a tab solely for reels. So all the way at the beginning, there's the for you, right? So that'll pop up photos, reels, content that's popular in that space. But if we scroll over, we just hit reels, which we want to go to because that's what we're learning about. And immediately it's going to populate a whole bunch of reels that are very popular in that niche. So we're going to scroll through, see all this popular content around bakeries. And we could do the exact same thing with any other keyword. For example, I'm going to type in another word, sourdough. Sourdough. So right when I type in sourdough, a whole bunch of sourdough recipes come up. We have popular content around sourdough. Scroll over once again to the Reels tab in particular, and you could see a whole bunch of content that is popular relative around sourdough. So this is a perfect way to find popular content or content that is well performing in your niche. Now we're going to jump into similar accounts or inspirational accounts. From that Reels tab in the top, we're going to scroll over to accounts. So what it does right away is it brings up the most popular accounts relative to that word that you just searched. So I'm just going back to bakery here. And then as you could see, it starts to show brands that are relative to the keyword bakery. So we're just going to click through and start looking for inspirational accounts. Of course, if you already have inspiration in your niche, even better. Let's write them down, let's follow those pages, and let's start looking at what content of theirs is performing well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna scroll through, start following some of these accounts. So we like that one, we like 85 Bakery. It has 100,000 followers, we're gonna follow that page. So I would do this exact same thing with different keywords that are relative to your niche. And now we're gonna do this exact same thing with the keyword search, but we're gonna find influencers in that space. So I'm gonna scroll back over to that Reels tab, and I'm basically gonna search through that feed of Reels until I find an account that looks to be a personal or influencer account and not a brand account. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna scroll through this feed until I see a page that looks that way. So the first one, that's a business. So now the second one, we've already found an influencer. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click on their page. I clicked on this influencer's page. She has 150,000 followers, and she makes videos for different restaurants, her visiting all these different restaurants. And one of them happens to be a bakery, which is within our niche. As you can see, the bakery one has performed very well, but this is very similar to other videos she has made. Now we've added one influencer to the list. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna scroll through. I see one guy here who also is trying different baking goods. We're gonna go to his page. He has 650,000 followers. I can see he visits other bakeries and whatnot, so I'm gonna give him a follow, and we're slowly building out a list of influencers that are creating trending content. And that's what we wanna get inspiration from. So the next topic that we're gonna jump into is what can you do? As a business owner, what is the size of your team? Is it just you solo? Is there 5 of you? What kind of content can you create? How much content can you create? Let's set realistic goals that you could reach to have consistency in Reels. Let's start with how much content you can create. Can you create 5 a week or 5 per day? Let's create a realistic goal for you. What can you actually accomplish? As you saw earlier, when I was on the Reels tab, those aren't people that I follow. So they're not gonna get annoyed that you're posting so much. What we are trying to do is get in front of new people. So we wanna consistently be posting so that our videos will continue showing up on someone's feed. And if those videos are good, then that might draw them to click to your page, potentially give you a follow, engage with your content, and at the end of the day, we want them to invest in your business. So at the end of the day, it all comes down to quality, quantity, and consistency. All of these factors depend on your budget and the style of content that you're wanting to create. So your budget is really important when setting these goals for yourself. Like I said, you're either creating 1 video a day or you want to create 5 videos per day, but this comes down to how much you can create and how much you want to spend on creating that. So we'll stick to this bakery example. And if you want to create 5 videos per day, that's creating 5 different pastries, which all cost money. And one thing we always tell people is don't allow your budget to hold you back when we're talking content plan. You don't need professional cameras and lights and everything. The great thing is with these platforms, what is popular is also being filmed on just a phone. It feels more personal, it feels more organic, and that's what people want to actually engage with. So now we want to talk about creating a content strategy that aligns with the vision of your brand. So now that we've made a list of alike brands, inspirational content to you, we're getting an idea, we're brainstorming on what style of content that we can make. So don't feel limited to what you can create. It doesn't need to be the chef show every episode, but you could create content by yourself, setting up your phone, just filming you. Or not even filming yourself and just filming what you're doing. Don't feel the need to create something that's so large scale. Set your goals on realistic means. It could just be you baking in your kitchen, maybe switching up a few different angles, natural lighting, adding some music on top, following a trend, and creating a nice video. And don't put off creating this content. Your first videos are gonna be bad. That's just what it is. The more that you create, the more you'll learn how to create better. It won't perform good at first, but the more you create, the more you'll understand what does perform well. And then you'll get in the groove of creating content with consistency, which is the most important part of all this. Slowly creating a brand and a unique aesthetic for your page. Ultimately, we're trying to create a content library for your niche. And with that consistency, we could start to track KPIs and metrics and see which pieces of our content is performing best. That's something we'll jump into in a later episode. But overall, we want to start with consistency in creating that good content. You just finished episode 1. First step is done. We knocked out a few key points about crafting a winning Instagram Reel strategy. We talked about setting realistic goals and understanding your niche. So how do we find that niche? We talked about finding them through keywords, hashtags, influencers, and similar brands. Then we talked about setting realistic goals and working within your budget. Create something that is organic. It could be you filming with your phone, or it could be you and 5 other people creating a video. Don't postpone creating content because you're limiting yourself. At the end of the day, we're trying to create a content library. Creating as much content as possible so that our target audience, when they're on that endless explore feed, they find our brand. So now we're gonna jump into episode 2 where we're creating compelling Instagram Reel content. We'll see you guys there. Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 where we are focusing on creating compelling content for Instagram Reels. Let's get into it. So the first thing we want to jump into is understanding the key elements for a successful reel. So I'm going to pull up my phone here. Let's get into understanding what a successful reel is. So it all comes down to what you're going for. Are you going for more shares, more comments, more likes? Do you want people to post it to their story? Do you want it to send to their friends? There's all kinds of different metrics to success. A lot of people get it mistaken with views and likes being the most important metrics, but those are slightly irrelevant to what we are trying to do through social media. We're trying to gain exposure through social media. So we do that through sharing to others and ending up on the explore page just like this and getting in front of eyeballs that have never seen our brand before. And why we want to capitalize on shares is because shares is almost like a referral for your brand. We want friends to share it to other friends because they're basically vouching for your brand that you are legit and showing it to someone else who is then going to trust your brand even more. So for example, if you are a brand that sells dog treats, you're showing off dogs, like loving the treats and stuff like that, and someone who uses your product then shares that to someone else who owns a dog, they're more than likely going to purchase your product based on their friend vouching for your brand. So for this example, I'm going to stick on the brand of dog treats, and we're going to look up through those keywords like we did in the last episode and find some popular reels that are relative around dog treats. So as I search dog treats here on the Explore feed, I scroll over to the Reels section because that's what we're learning about. And we're basically just running through what is the most popular videos that are relative to dog treats. So here we have a whole bunch of videos that are getting popular based on the keyword of dog treats. So as we scroll through, we click on one of them. It's showing dogs and they're being fed some different treats and whatnot. So the video is short, it's sweet, it's showing what the product is, it's showing the dog actually enjoying the product. So it's a classic marketing video, but as you could see down below, it has a lot of shares. So what's happening is this is potentially, most likely, dog owners sharing to other dog owners good recipes to feed their animals. So this is a great way to provide value to your audience, and we're gonna break that down in just a second here. Providing value to their audience in order to gain shares and engagement on their posts, and at the end of the day, this is engagement on your profile. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna break down the best content strategy that we've seen through our videos and through other successful videos. This is the exact same strategy that we use for all of our clients. So this strategy is what we call the hook method. What the hook method is a hook to draw people in, provide value, then a call to action. So not every video follows this strategy. Of course, there's different ways to, follow trends and trending songs and whatnot. But for the most part, when you're starting out, this is a great rule of thumb to follow when creating a video. So I'm gonna click on this video here, and right away, as you could see, they show the final product of their dog treat. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to hook you in with this being the final product that you will get when you watch this video. It shows the final product of what that dog treat looks like. So that is what we call the hook method. We want to show what the audience is going to receive as soon as they click on the video. So right away, as you can see, we show the final product. So then we go into the dog liking this final product. So we hook them in with the final product, then we show the dog liking it, then we start to provide value to the audience. We're showing them how to create these dog treats. So what she's doing is she's breaking it down step by step, how to create the dog treat, showing you what ingredients she's using. And then as soon as she's done with that recipe and showing you how to do that and providing value to her audience, she then hits you with a call to action, which in her case is just to comment on the page. So right at the end of the video says comment cookie below for the full recipe. So she's providing value to the audience, showing them what she's doing, and then asking the audience to comment on her page, and then she will share the full recipe. So what she's doing here, she's hooking you in, showing you the final product, then providing value and showing a sped up version of the recipe and how it's being made. And then she's throwing in a call to action, which her call to action is to grow more engagement on her page. So like I said, there's different goals for each account. Some people is to get people to click on their website. Other people is to draw a comment to their page. So she's trying to build more engagement on her page. So she's asking people to comment, which is very simple because it's still on the Instagram app. So this is a great hook method example video. So in addition to this hook method, which like I said, great rule of thumb to follow when you're creating videos, there's a few key components that help your video get more views and potentially go viral. When clicking on her page, she has one, great lighting, great quick editing, and good usage of text. She's using emojis, she's putting the text in the right spot, she's edited the video very quickly, and the video is perfectly lit the whole time. As we talked about before, it always is gonna come down to what you can accomplish yourself. Of course, there are limitations, but we're going to make the best of those limitations. So as you can see, it looks like she films most of this herself, and she's filming her dog, she's filming the final product. Her face isn't even showing in this video at all. She's setting up all of her camera angles to not be in any shadows or anything like that. And then her editing is very quick, very fast paced, but it's fast enough that you could still see everything that's going on. So it is very important to have a fast video, a quick video. Like we talked about before, you could endlessly scroll on here, and if you don't see what you want to see in the first second, then you will potentially move on. So we want to hook people right away with good editing. Show the final product right off the bat, and then as you can see, right away she shows you easy oat dog cookie recipe. So these are the key components when trying to create an engaging reel. Okay, and then the next thing that we're gonna jump into is finding that trending audio or trending music. Then we're gonna go back onto our profile, which is there in the bottom right. Then we're gonna click Professional Dashboard. So when we click on Professional Dashboard, then you scroll down to Trending Audio. So Instagram provides these analytics of what audio is the most popular on Instagram at that moment. So as you scroll through, it gives you the top 10 all the way down to the top 50. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run through those, match it up to your video, and use one of these trending sounds on your video. And by using these sounds on your video, you will most likely appear in front of new users. And then real quickly, just going back, under the trending audio tab, there is an inspiration tab. And then as you're creating content and developing that niche for yourself, Instagram recognizes what you're creating and it starts to suggest videos for you to use as inspiration. So this is a really good tool to just have in the back of your mind if you're ever needing more inspiration, other than those other tactics or tools that we used before. So after you've combined all those different tools, these are great ways to further your video. Let's jump into the recap and run through all that we learned. Congrats guys, you just finished episode 2 where we talked about creating compelling content for Instagram Reels. The first thing we got into was understanding what a successful reel is. And ways to understand that content, we looked up successful reels within your niche. We did that through the keyword searches and checked out well-performing content. The next thing we went into was tips on the method to creating a successful reel. What that method was the hook method, which is the hook, value, and a call to action. The other tips were lighting, editing, and placing text on your videos. After that, we got into using trending sounds and music, which we did through the trending tab in our profile. And after adding all of these elements, we've created a compelling video that's good for Instagram Reels. Thank you guys for watching episode 2. That is it. On the next episode, we are going to be talking about maximizing your engagement and reach. See you guys there. Hey guys, welcome to episode 3, where we're going to jump into maximizing reach and engagement from your Reels. Let's get into it. So the first topic I want to jump into is understanding the Instagram algorithm and the do's and don'ts of making a Reel. Understanding how your Reels turn from just being posted to actually being viewed. So the algorithm is very complex, but it's also very simple to understand. So as a user, when I jump on my Instagram account, the algorithm is constantly tracking what I'm looking at, which can be scary. What I mean by that is when I hop onto my explore feed or the person that I follow, or if I like a certain post, the Instagram algorithm is watching that. So if I'm watching a video for more than 5 seconds, more than 2 seconds, or more than 10 seconds, it tracks all of this data and it recommends new videos to me all the time. So what this is doing is trying to improve the user experience. So when we're on the flip side of that and we are the brand that's trying to advertise to the Instagram user, what's great to know is what we're putting in a video and how we're making that video is very important to the Instagram algorithm. So that's why understanding this algorithm is very important. So a big thing with the Instagram algorithm when we are a brand trying to market to others is not creating generic content. We want to create content that's entertaining and fun, grabs people's attention, and provides value to their life, makes them laugh, or has a fun, surprising twist. Another great content idea is to inspire or motivate others. You could talk about your journey or your experience, or deciding to even start a business as a beginner. It's important to be authentic and to be real with people to resonate with your audience. The algorithm recognizes this through people's engagement with your content. So the more they engage with your content, the further that content will be pushed. So in a way, Instagram's algorithm is tracking your content's authenticity. And this is why it's very important to understand how that works. So with those tips and do's, I also want to talk about the don'ts when it comes to content. This is a big thing with our clients before they sign up with us. A lot of things that we recognize with their pages. And these are big things that will help you as a new creator to not do when stepping into the content space. A few things not to do when creating your reels. Don't create a slideshow. No photos in your reels. Don't put any photos where videos should be. Number 2, high quality content only. No blurry or low res videos. Number 3, don't recycle content from other platforms and other creators. I can't tell you how many times I've seen pages reuse content or even sometimes re-download their own content and post it on Instagram with their logo bouncing around the whole time. What is best is to create 2 separate videos on Instagram and on TikTok. They could be the same video, but make sure the quality is high and there's no watermark on either one. A good way to download TikToks, if you just made it on TikTok and then now you want to post it on Instagram, a good website to do that on is this one here. You simply paste the TikTok URL and then you could download that video. It comes in good quality and then you could post it to Instagram. But when you download it straight from the TikTok app, it'll leave the TikTok watermark and then it'll end up on your Instagram page, and that won't help your engagement. The next don't is borders and aspect ratio. What we want to do is stay away from black or white bars on the sides of your videos, crowding the screen that people are watching on. We want to leave out the borders. We want to use up all the space on the screen. We want to upload 1080p. We want to stay away from any lower quality and any higher quality because it compresses the video and just makes it look worse. Another big don't is using GIFs and text to crowd your screen. Like we said before, we like using text, but we like making it small and putting it in the right spot. A lot of the times I will see our clients, before signing up with us, put GIFs all over their videos, a text that covers the entire screen. This is a big don't. So now that you have your do's and your don'ts, what I want to jump into is some tools that can help your content get more exposure, which leads to more engagement and more reach. First one is hashtags and keywords. I know we jumped into keywords a little bit, like when I searched bakery and all those bakeries came up. We want to use words in our caption, text on the screen, not too big, hashtags that are key to our business. How do we want people to find us? So if I'm a bakery and I want to show off what I have, I want to place keywords in my caption and my hashtags that are relative to my brand. It's very important to structure the text on the screen, the caption, and the hashtags in a way that will drive people in based on keywords. So like we talked about, that Instagram algorithm, it's tracking all of these different factors. And I'm just gonna run through some ways that I see other creators using these keywords correctly. So as I scroll through my Explore feed, I'll pull up the first one with text on it. So the first one that I see here is someone advertising Latin fusion barbecue. And where is it at? It's in Las Vegas. So they put the text on the screen, they put it right there in the middle, and it says Latin Fusion Barbecue, and then they put a pin, Las Vegas, Nevada. So yes, this is text on the screen, so it's a little bit confusing, but Instagram does track that wording. So we want to put words on the screen relative to your brand. So this jumps into geotags. You could either geotag, as in mark where your location is, as well as you could also type it on screen. The Instagram algorithm will track and place your video in front of people in that area. So this guy put Las Vegas, Nevada. So most likely, this will pop up in front of people that are searching in Las Vegas, Nevada, or people that are in Las Vegas, Nevada. So here we are on the Reels tab. So if we go to Reels and then you tap on that Reels icon in the top left corner, it'll then pop up following or nearby. So we're gonna click on nearby, and what it does is it populates a whole bunch of videos that are in my vicinity. So as you can see, as I scroll, some people are putting it on screen. It says North Hollywood. This one says Long Beach. It says new cafe in Los Angeles. So people are putting that text on screen. At the same time, they're also tagging their location, which we will learn a little bit more about as we create a reel all together. But they are tagging their location below. It says West Hollywood, California. But In their video, they're also placing text on screen that says new cafe in LA. So this is a great tool for you to use if you are a location-based business. So we'll jump into that a little bit more in a later episode when we are creating a reel altogether. So that is a small example of keywords by tracking location. And then we're going to click on the caption down below. As you can see, they break down exactly what's going on in the video, as well as they throw in a few keywords that are relative to their business. For example, it says cafe, they put bakery in there, they put Los Angeles coffee shop, they put LA cafe, best matcha. So there's a few different keywords that they're using in there to try to play into that algorithm a little bit more. So if I'm someone who's looking for matcha, I might type in matcha and this video potentially will pop up in front of me. If I'm looking for matcha in West Hollywood, even more likely this video will pop up in front of me. Another good tool is using that sounds and trending audio tab that we talked about in the previous episode. But what it's doing is populating in front of people who are frequently watching videos with that sound. And what's great about that is within your niche, there becomes audios that are trending more specific to your niche. So if you are a personal trainer, you'll start to see that other personal trainers are maybe using a certain sound or following a certain trend. So it becomes very important to continuously stay in tune with your niche and watch other influencers in your niche or watch other big accounts and what they're doing so that you can kind of stay on trend with them. All right, now the next really beneficial tool that I always recommend to our clients is influencer marketing and collaboration. So let's jump into how to go about that. So the first thing I want to jump into is the influencer side of collaborating and how they could help you further your engagement and your reach. So obviously influencers, they have a little bit more followers than you, and that's what some of the benefit is there, is them having more followers and they could advertise to their followers. But what we want to do is make sure we find the right influencers. So in order to find influencers that are relative to your brand, we want to make sure they're within your niche. So let's use a cafe, for example. So we want to make sure to find influencers that are also visiting cafes or frequently visit similar establishments. And don't feel excluded if you're not a restaurant, for example. This can be applied to any brand or any form of business that is done through social media. Whether you're a product or you're a storefront or a clothing brand or you provide a service, this can be applied to every single brand. So I want to jump into one of the influencers that we have worked with in the past with one of our other clients. So I'm going to pull up one of our clients that is an Indian restaurant based in New Jersey. We decided to collaborate with influencers that are relative to their space. So we searched on Instagram looking up New Jersey foodies. Then since we're making reels, we're going to scroll over to the reels tab. And as you can see, we have a whole bunch of videos of people visiting food establishments in New Jersey. Like we said, if you're a product, just type in your product, your location, or keywords that are relative to your product. You'll be able to find the same exact results. So what we did is we searched through here until we found an influencer that has good engagement and matches the style of content that we want to place on our client's page. And then all we did was shoot them a DM. Of course, they have a ton of followers, so they're getting a lot of DMs, and most likely they will respond because this is part of their job. But a lot of the times it's going to be a numbers game. We're going to run into a lot of DMs that are not responded to. We're reaching out to as many people as possible that are within our niche. But the key is finding someone with good engagement. So what we did is we connected with an influencer who's a foodie based in New Jersey, and we basically just shot them a couple of DMs. We sent over a few DMs, and we ended up agreeing on a certain time that she would stop in. The business provided free food for her in exchange for her to post a video of her dining experience at that location. And then she continued to create a collaborative reel that shows up on both her page as the influencer and our client's page, which brings all of her engagement to our client's page. So they post not two separate posts, but one post that shows up on both of their feeds, which draws her engagement to our client's post and our client's engagement to her post. So the first DM that I sent her was basically just, hey, I work with a few brands in New Jersey and we'd love to collaborate. We'd love to see if you're interested in visiting one of our restaurants on us. So what we did was propose what we are willing to offer and what we were hoping to get out of the collaboration. She got back to us, hey, would love to hear about more. Then we started just chatting about what our client does. Hey, it's a spot based in New Jersey, Indian cuisine, and we'd love to have you in for a visit. We're hoping to hear a few available dates from you. Then she proceeded to respond with a couple of different dates, maybe some locations that work best for her, and her pricing. And then we proceeded to just chat about what's expected from her end and what's expected from our end. We hoped for a few different posts up to her story, and then also a collaborative post between her page and our page of a video reel in exchange for a fully comp dining experience. And then what the video resulted in was a great post going up on her page and a post going up on our page, and we shared the engagement. Done. And it's as easy as that. So we reached out to a good amount of people, and she stopped in, had a great time, posted a great video, and now her and our client share a great video that has grown engagement for the both of them. And keep in mind, these numbers are coming from a micro influencer. When we're not paying influencers in exchange for a collaborative post, the engagement isn't going to be thousands and thousands of likes. We're hoping to get micro engagement that's better than ours posted to both pages. So we're trying to further that reach even more. And as you grow your page bigger and collab with more and more people, you will start to see that people are now reaching out to you to collaborate, and influencer outreach becomes a lot easier. But keep in mind, although these numbers aren't staggering and flying off the charts, we are targeting someone who is specific to New Jersey and specifically a foodie within our niche. And these numbers aren't hundreds of thousands of people spread across the US. This is a storefront that we're trying to bring actual business to. So we're working with an influencer that can bring in real clientele for this client. All right, guys, that is it for episode 3. We're going to jump into the recap, which has a little quiz attached to it. So tag along to make sure you're not falling asleep. Congrats, you just finished episode 3, maximizing engagement and reach. For this recap, we're going to do a little pop quiz to see what you guys remember from this episode. Make sure you're paying attention. Which one of these is a don't when it comes to creating engaging content? Using a trending sound, posting a video that you already posted on TikTok, posting in 1080p, or putting borders on your video. I hope you chose putting borders on your videos, because that is a major, major don't. Question 2, when is it okay to repost a video you've already posted on another platform? When it's someone else's video, B, when you download it from Snaptic, when you crop the watermark out, or D, never. B, download it from Snaptic. Question 3. How do you find influencers you want to collab with? A, the search bar. B, watching Reels. 3, hashtags. Or D, all of the above. All of the above. All right, that is it for episode 3. I hope you did well on those quizzes. If you didn't, pay attention, because there might be a surprise quiz in your future. We're going to jump into episode 4, where we're measuring and analyzing your success. We'll see you guys there. Episode 4, welcome. You're over halfway through the course. You're killing it. You're flying through it. And you just aced the last test. Right? Now let's jump into it. Episode 4, what are we talking about? We're talking about analyzing and measuring success. First topic is to use your Instagram analytics to track your performance. So I'm going to show you where to find them. I'm going to pull up a screen recording here. So for these analytics, some of you might be starting out. So we want to use an account that has analytics that are a little more relatable. So we're here on our profile. I'm going to click on professional dashboard here, and immediately it shows me my insights. So as you can see in the top right corner, it shows you from when to when. So it usually kind of does a month out, but you could always change that to 90 days or 60 days or whatever you're trying to track. So we're just going to kind of run through exactly what all these insights mean. So as you can see, it starts out with accounts reached. So we'll click on that and we'll start looking through accounts reached. It shows this many followers are reached and this many non-followers are reached. Now, what is reach? Reach is basically the number of people that your account has been shown to. So if you post a video and it gets 1,000 person reach, it means 1,000 people have seen that video. Maybe not engaged with it or liked it or commented, but it did pop up in front of 1,000 different people. Potentially they didn't even view the video. It was just an impression on them and it just showed them for just a second. They could have kept scrolling, or it could have been on the explore feed and they kept looking past it. And then let's go to accounts engaged. This is probably one of our more important ones because we want to grow the engagement, you know, in every single video. And this is also why it's great to be posting a good amount, be posting consistently, because the accounts engaged will continue to grow as you post more. Engaged means users that have actually liked your video or commented on your video or shared it to another person, accounts that have actually interacted with your post. All right, so now I'm going to pull up one of our videos to show you how to check out the insights for that video. So we just went through the dashboard insights, and to get a little bit more particular, you're going to go to one of your posts or one of your reels, and then as soon as you click on it, in the bottom left, it shows View Insights. So if we click on View Insights, you'll be able to check out all the engagement and impressions that were made on that video in specific. So as you can see, you know, it got about 3,000 plays, 95 likes, 1 comment, 17 shares, and 3 saves. All these numbers serve a different purpose, but they're all very important. And the main ones that we pay attention to are the comments, the shares, and the saves. So we're trying to get more people to save our videos, share them with others, and comment on our post. So it's great to get a ton of views. That's amazing as well. But at the end of the day, we want people to actually engage with that post. So we got 3,000 views, but it looks like around 100 to 120 people actually engaged with the post. So that's the most that we care about, is who engaged with that post. One of the big ones that we're looking at is shares. So this one here got 17 shares. As we talked about in earlier episodes, shares are important because it's basically like one of your friends vouching for a brand and showing it to you. You're more likely to listen. This is basically a referral from one of your friends to check out another brand. So as I said, this is the most important statistic in our analytics. So the next topic we want to jump into is data analysis and refining your strategy. So what we mean by that is you just did a data analysis of one of your posts, you did a data analysis of your page, but now we want to analyze the data across your entire page. What performed well and what did not perform well, and change our strategy based on that. Okay, so I'm here on my Reels, and as you can see, bringing up that same post, viewing the insights, this one performed really well, and it's a food video, similar to the food video that's right next to it, but this one might have performed completely different. A lot lower numbers, as you can see. The last one had 3,000 views, this one has 300 views. So 7 likes in comparison to 95 likes, and why is that? So this is a really important thing when looking into our analytics. What about the video has drawn a lot of engagement, and what about this other video has not drawn a lot of engagement? As you can see, what I talked about before with the shares, the last one got over 17 shares and this one has 0 shares. With that Instagram algorithm, what Instagram recognizes is a post is being shared around a lot, or a post is being liked enough that it's being shared with others, and Instagram chooses to push that post to the explore feed or the Reels feed. So then what that leads us into is you have 2 food videos, right? And one is performing and one is not performing. So one thing that we try to do a lot with our clients is what's called split testing. Split testing is super important because this allows us to lock in a strategy that we know is performing well. So what we will try to do, we'll try to shoot 5 videos inside and 5 videos outside. And as we post them, we watch the analytics and see which of those is performing best. And split testing is a great tool when trying to figure out what content is performing best on your page. For example, if you are a beautician or a hairstylist, I'm going to type in hairstylist real quick. So we're going to go over to the Reels tab. When you're split testing, you could try out 2 viral concepts, right? So we want to find 2 different viral concepts. And what we're going to do is you're going to try one style, making multiple videos in that style, and then trying another style, making multiple videos of that style. For example, we're going to make one style of videos that is sped up, it's fast, the edit is quick, there's music on top of it, and it lasts about 10 seconds. And you're going to post 3 to 5 of those. And then we're going to make another style that's a little bit longer, maybe has a voiceover on top, the music is a little bit lower, and the video is a little bit longer, 30 seconds, for example. And we're going to make 3 to 5 of those. And this one's a little bit more of a storytelling format. So what we're doing is we're trying out 2 different styles, making multiple videos of those, and then once they're all posted, we're able to track the analytics, whether this style performed better over the course of 3 to 5 videos, or this style performed better over the course of 3 to 5 videos. And this is a good way to split test for your account and find out what content's performing best. So now leading into the next topic, which is optimizing your campaigns based on that data. So after you analyze this data, after you look through all your stats and insights, after you've done this split test, what do? You start curating your content, leaning more toward what performed best. So if the voiceover from the last topic and the last split test performed best, what we'll do is we'll start curating our content more focused on the voiceover and the storytelling format. And while doing that, we want to post more of this style of video, but at the same time, we want to never stop split testing. While we're making storytelling, voiceover styled videos, we will continue to look up inspiration in our niche and split test that storytelling with a brand new style. If we're split testing and that story time, that voiceover format continues to perform best, then we toss this style out and bring in a whole nother one. As you see what's performing best, let's lean into that style even more. And once you see the numbers on that are starting to drop a little bit, then we continue to split test and seeing if there's a new style that's going to perform even better. So what we want to do is constantly keep creating content that's performing good, first of all, but then bringing in new styles of content that can potentially perform better. And that's why it's important to stay on top of trends and stay on top of what's going on within your niche so that you can continuously outperform your last piece of content. Now that is it for episode 4. I will see you guys in a quick recap. All right, you guys just knocked out episode 4, where we talked about analyzing and measuring your success. The first topic that we talked about was using your analytics to track your performance. We showed you where to find those analytics in your dashboard, on the post. Then we talked about what to track, whether it was the comments, the shares, the saves. All of those are super important, and why we value those is because we want the Instagram algorithm to see that people like your post enough to share it with others or save it for themselves later. Then we talked about the importance of data analysis and refining your strategy. What performed well, what didn't perform well, and how to split test. Split testing is super important. We want to constantly split test and see what content's doing good and what's doing bad. Then we talked about how to optimize your campaign based on that data. Split test and lean into what's working from that split test. All right, that is it for episode 4. We will see you in episode 5 talking about advanced strategies for Instagram Reels. We'll see you there. Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome to episode 5, where we are talking about advanced strategies for Instagram Reels. Let's get into it. All right, guys, first topic we're going to tackle today is how to leverage Reels with CapCut. So first thing is, what is CapCut? CapCut is basically an editing software very particular to social media. So I'm sure you've seen other videos on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube that are edited very heavily. They have captions, there's memes and stuff like that. Most of the time that's being edited through CapCut. So I'm basically gonna show you where to find CapCut and how to use it. So first thing, I just wanted to show you a few examples of how we've used CapCut for some of our clients. So this is one of our clients here. It's a Euro restaurant, and what we've done is we've used CapCut to place a lot of memes on there. So we're trying to tap into that humor side a little bit more, which drew in a lot of comments, a lot of likes. And basically we just placed a meme on top of an existing video to get some more engagement from their audience. So we got a lot of comments and shares, and basically, as you could see, we're trying to tap into that humor side so people will then share it with their friends, something funny for their friends to see. But at the same time, we're playing with that Instagram algorithm to get more shares, more comments, and hopefully appear in front of more people. So the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you where to get CapCut. So it's basically an app that's found in the App Store. So I'm gonna pull up the App Store and I'm just gonna type in CapCut. So right here, it's the first app on there and it says CapCut Video Editor. So I'm gonna download that app. It's gonna ask you a few questions as you log in. You could skip these. This app here is mainly used for TikTok. That's kind of the world in which we're banking on, is that short form content. We're gonna go over to the TikTok tab. So it starts you on the For You tab. But as you use CapCut a little bit more, it'll start to apply more suggested content for you. But basically what we're doing is we're using this for inspiration so that we could start building it into our content strategy. So if we scroll over to the TikTok tab, which is on the top there, you'll start scrolling through and it'll give you a whole bunch of options that are popularly used. So now that we are inside the CapCut app and we've scrolled over to the TikTok option, we are now running through different trending CapCut features. So as we scroll through, we could either go through the trending options or we can look for a trend that we have seen. Just going back to the meme that we use for our client, you could search the trend or meme. So that meme that we use is Bill Hader just dancing with some text over top of him. So if we search Bill Hader meme, right away it's gonna pop up a bunch of memes that you could use for your videos. If you wanna use the green screen option, it usually allows you to place your own video behind it, or you could even reuse one of these memes here and place your own text on top of it. So all of these options here are the templates options. So as you could see in the bottom, there's a whole menu bar of different options for you. Usually we try to stay in the templates tab to find different memes and different trending topics that we could use. But if you go over to the edit tab, then it allows you to edit your videos a little bit deeper. Another really effective tool within CapCut is the captions. You could place captions in the Reels app as well, which we'll go into in the next episode. But at the same time, there's trending captions that are used very heavily and produced by CapCut. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to get to the captions option. So when we go over to the edit tab, which is in the scroll bar at the very bottom, then you could see there's a couple of options there at the top. If we click expand, it'll drop down a menu with all the different features that CapCut offers. And then we're gonna click auto captions. So if we click on auto captions, I'm gonna click the first video, which I just recorded a little voiceover for. So real quick, I'm just gonna add a voiceover onto an existing video that I already have just to show you guys how to add captions on top. So if I'm in the Instagram app, I'm gonna press the add button in the bottom, and then I'm gonna click on this chicken sandwich video that I have. Then I'm going to click on the audio button in the top. There's a voiceover option, and then I'm just gonna record a voiceover on top of the video. This is me dunking a chicken sandwich into ranch. Press done, and then we save that video to our camera roll. And then when you click add, it'll pop up a couple of template options, a couple of them that are trending, and usually those are the first ones that pop up. So I'm gonna click the latest one, which is basically gonna auto-generate captions on top of my video. So you have to already place a video in there with a voiceover, or in CapCut you could add a voiceover then add the captions. But these captions are really great because a lot of influencers use these captions, and basically we're trying to ride those trends because it's very eye-catching to anyone who comes across that post. So you can move that caption around, you can place it high up. I'm gonna place it right there at the bottom lower third, and then check it out. Easy as that. So once we click up here, we're gonna move on, we're gonna save it. Pop quiz. What is wrong about this video? If you said there's a watermark, you are correct. At the end of this CapCut video, since we use the app, CapCut's watermark pops up. So these are a few things that as we get better at creating our videos, we want to slowly learn to not do. So it might seem pretty harmless, but when we post it to Instagram, it starts to drop the quality of the video, and your viewers recognize it, whether it's subconsciously or they consciously recognize it. We want to try to not crowd our video with logos or as much text as possible. So when doing this, I'm just going to use this as an example, but when downloading from TikTok, we want to make sure to use that website, that SnapTik website, so that we could download the video without the watermark on there. So we're going to press save. I'm going to save the video, and then as you can see, it saves with the CapCut logo at the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you remove that. So we're going to save it to our device. So now that the video is saved to our device, we're going to go over to our photos, the latest video in here. Okay, now it cuts to black. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to trim it right here in the Photos app. I'm going to trim it before it goes black. Now we have a video with the captions with no watermark on it. And that is ready to post to your Instagram. So that is the best ways to utilize CapCut. Like I said, it keeps you on top of those trends and it keeps you in front of new eyes. This is going to make it a lot easier when you are creating a ton of content on a consistent basis. This scheduling tool that's inside the Instagram app is going to help you guys a lot when creating a ton of content consistently. So I'm going to pull up a screen recording. So I'm going to pull up that same video that we were using. So I'm here in the Instagram app. I clicked on create a video, click that little plus icon in the middle of the app. Then immediately went into my photos, pulled up this video. In the next video, we're gonna jump into a little bit more in detail on how to create the exact video, so don't worry, but this is more about the scheduling here. So after we've edited our video, we're gonna go over to the next tab, and then as you scroll down, here's a few options that I wanted to run through with you guys. So if you go down to advanced settings, which is the bottom icon, we're gonna go down and it says schedule content. So schedule this reel. So we're gonna click on schedule, and then you get to pick a day that it's going to be posted to your page. So why this is super helpful is sometimes what I always recommend is creating a bunch of content in one day so that you could then edit it over the next few days. But as you create content, you start to get ahead of your schedule. What's great is you could then pull it into your app, put the video in there, and then select what day. So let's schedule it for tomorrow. So we want it posted tomorrow. We want it posted at 8 a.m. and then set time. And then as soon as you set the time, your reel is now scheduled. So what's great about this is we could schedule multiple videos to a point where we are multiple days ahead of our content calendar, so that we're not making sure we're up at 8 a.m. or making sure we're hopping on our phone at 8 p.m. to post or anything like that. We want to make sure we're posting at a good time every single day. And then on top of that, we added a little list here for you guys to screenshot that are some recommended times of posting during the week. So as far as scheduling content, this is always what we recommend. Of course, there's third-party apps as well if you want to get deeper into scheduling content. But now Instagram has updated and added this new feature where you could schedule out your reels. So that is super helpful for us to stay on that consistent calendar. All right, so now that we have those CapCut features, we're on top of the trends, and at the same time we have the scheduling to back it up. The last tool before we create a reel ourselves I want to jump into is mindset when creating content. So now, like I said, we have that content calendar, we're ready to go, and we're building out our different content ideas to stay in the mindset of your audience. A big thing when creating reels is knowing what your audience wants. So for example, if you're like a self-help book or a dietitian that is providing a healthy cookbook, and one of the biggest mistakes that I see with creators is they approach their content with the mindset of what's going to go viral. What is going to, pop off with my brand? Which of course we want to stay in that mindset a little bit, but at the same time, we also want to be in the mindset of our potential clients. We want to be of the mindset of what do I want to consume as a client that's going to help me out? And what is going to relate to me so much that I'm thinking this content relates to me and maybe I want to push it even further and buy that book. So as an author of this healthy lifestyle book or healthy recipes, we don't want to make content based around maybe our writing process or what it's like in a day in the life of the writer who wrote this book, but we want to tap into our target audience and make content that they will consume and will bring value to them. Because talking about my writing process will attract other writers. That's not our target audience as the author, but our audience wants to learn about the recipes. That's who you want to buy the book. So what are we going to do? We're going to create content about recipes. We're going to create content about living a healthy lifestyle, or foods to avoid, or exercises to do, or mention little topics from our book. So lastly, what we want to do is create content with the mindset of our target audience. The next topic we want to take on is a content calendar. In my opinion, this is one of the most important topics when it comes to creating content. Of course, we could create all the content in the world, amazing content, but if we aren't posting it on a good calendar, on a good schedule, we're gonna fumble. So I'm gonna show you how to build out a content calendar, and in my opinion, the best format in doing that. All right, so first thing we want to do is break down our content ideas. So after we've learned about inspirational accounts, what's trending, how to find what's trending, using CapCut and creating all these different styles of content, big thing is that split testing, trying out two different things. One's working, use that one more, bring in another one, split test that. After we're doing all that, we are starting to create a content library. Like we talked about, having your page be a big library of different content that's relative to your brand. And then with that content library, we want to create a content calendar. Why do we want to create a content calendar? The reason we want to do that is so that with our audience and the audience that we're building slowly, organically, we don't want to bore them. Realistically, they start following your account because you've created something that they enjoy. You've brought some value to them. So now we want to figure out how to continue bringing value to them, but not bring the same value to them, but add more value in different ways, which is why we're split testing those videos. So what we're gonna do first is list out our content ideas. So if you wanna list out your content ideas along with us. So the first one, a first one that performs really well is a story time video. So either you talking about your brand or talking about the struggle of creating your brand. And basically this one's a little bit more personal. And it's important to be vulnerable, and connect to other people, connect to your audience. So we're telling about your brand. So the first one we're gonna put on there is a story time or a storytelling format. And then for the next one, we are going to go with a how-to video. So this is a big providing value to your audience video. It's how you make the recipe, how you style someone's hair. And with that recipe video, that's the big hook method one. You know what I mean? Hook, value, call to action. So hooking them in with the final product, showing them how to make it, and then call to action being like, I can make this for you, or check out my services, or check out more recipes, or comment on this video. So let's do that. So that one there is a how-to video is the next option. And then the next one after that, a third content idea is maybe one of those CapCut memes. So using CapCut to follow those trends. So let's place a meme in there to tap into the humor side and, more marketing for your brand based on humor. So let's throw that one in there as another content idea, a meme. Okay, so now what do we have? We have 3 different content ideas. If you want to build out 5, that's even better. If you want to build out 10 content ideas, that's even better. So what we're going to do is we're just going to play on these 3 different content ideas. And what we're doing now is we are now scheduling out your post based on these 3 content ideas. So we don't want to post a meme back to back. We don't want to post a meme on Monday and then a meme on Wednesday and then a meme on Friday. What we want to do is post a story time. We want to post a story time, a meme, and then a how-to. Or you can flip them around however you want. Shuffle them around, shuffle them around. And while we are doing this, while we are scheduling out our content and showing different styles of content every single day, every single week, at the same time as we're doing that, we're also split testing, which is great. So we always want to be split testing, and we always want to be posting different styles of content to our audience. One, to see which is performing best, but also to never bore your audience. If we're posting a storytelling video every single day, they might not want to hear a storytelling video every time from you. They want to hear different styles of content coming to them, capitalizing on those trends, especially if it's working. We want to lean into what's working, of course, but always have these other content ideas, either in the mix slowly or posting them or ready to be posted, because that one style of yours is not going to last forever. If that story time is doing well, it won't do well in potentially 6 months from now or a year from now or whatever. Trends continue to move and social media moves faster than us. So it's always good to have extra content ready to go that is always promoting your brand in a different way or at a different angle. If certain content is working, definitely lean into it. Keep making that style of content. Of course, make that your priority of whatever is working when you're split testing, but always be split testing. And why we want to do that is so that we're always continuously creating potentially the next best thing. So now that you have that content stocked up and you have all your different content ideas, let's start putting it in the calendar. Like I said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is great, but even better is every other day, maybe 5 times a week. The more you post, the better. I mean, as we talked about in earlier episodes, the more that you post to your page, the more opportunity it is for those videos to pop up in front of your target audience. So the more that we post, the more opportunity there is for your brand to go further. So what we always recommend is no more than 3 to 5 reels per day, but industry standard is 4 to 7 reels per week. So what's great about this is when posting reels, it does pop up on the Explore feed. And when you're following our steps with the hook method and doing all these different things, you will start to grow your engagement, especially starting from ground zero, no followers. Right out of the gate, we want to be posting on a consistent schedule. We'll pop in a little calendar here. You guys could screenshot it. These are our recommended posting schedule. At the end of the day, what we always recommend is posting at least 3 to 4 times a week to get that algorithm moving. And like I said, the more that you post, the more opportunity you have to pop up in front of your target audience. It would be awesome if you guys can create 1 video every single day. It would be a challenge, but it would be a great challenge for yourself, because imagine after 3 months of posting 1 video every day, that's 90 plus videos that you're posting. I can almost guarantee that if you're following these methods, the hook method, different content styles, and posting 1 video every day that's a quality video, and you're doing this every day, it will have a huge impact on your brand. So I challenge you guys 90 days of Reels content posted consistently to your page, and I guarantee you will see huge results. Feel free to shoot me a DM, message me any questions, because I'm here to help. I want to help you guys. I want to see your brand go further. I want to see social media push your guys' brand. So now with that challenge, the next topic I want to jump into is scheduling that content calendar. All right, so now that we have all of those key tools when we're creating videos, let's show you how to boost a post. So I'm gonna hop on the Instagram app here, and then I'm just gonna grab any post for an example. We're gonna go over here. As soon as you post to your page, what it's gonna do right away is it's gonna pop up your insights, and then it's also gonna show you the boost post option. So if we click on boost post, click on next, it's gonna pop up some potential goals for you. So if we want more profile visits, more website visits, or more messages in our chat, what I'm gonna do is select profile visits. We wanna draw people to our Instagram page. So we're just boosting one of our reels. So we want to draw people in. Of course, this is depending on the type of traffic you want to bring in. If you want to lead them to your website, that's also an option. But for me, I'm just going to lead them to my profile. So the automatic option on there, it says Instagram targets ads to people like your followers, similar to your current followers. So you could either do that option, or you could make your own demographic, which in our case, we put Los Angeles, men and women, ages 30 to 60. There's an option to create your own. So as you can see, if you want to type in your area, look, I'm going to put Los Angeles. Then you could put the radius of Los Angeles. So I put a 5-mile radius. We don't want to get anyone too far. If you guys are a storefront, for most of our brands, what we try to do is create a more particular audience. We want to target a certain demographic rather than letting Instagram and Facebook decide who we're advertising to. So I'm going to click done. You could choose what they're interested in. If you're a personal trainer, for example, we'll put fitness and wellness. We'll move on. And then you want to put your age demo. You know what your clientele is, so we want to put that age demo in there. I'm going to scroll it down. I'm going to bring that 65 down to maybe 40 years old, up it to 21 years old, male and female. And as you can see, the target audience up top is starting to shrink down a little bit. So it went from 2 million potential people that it could get in front of to now 600,000 to 700,000. And then we're going to name our target audience. So I'm just going to put fitness audience. We're gonna put done. And then now you have created a new audience to advertise to. You're still in the Instagram app, so now we have our fitness audience, men and women, ages 21 to 40 in the Los Angeles area, 5-mile radius, like I said. So we're gonna press next. And then this is where you set how many days you wanna advertise and what your budget you wanna advertise daily. So if I chose 5 days at $5 per day, it's gonna spend $25 in total. Sometimes we see people putting 30 days, $5 a day. It's going to spend $150 total. So at the same time as you move that scroll bar and change it up, you could also see the estimated reach. So this is not your brand entirely. This is this video in specific. So this is why we want to pay attention to how many days we're advertising. Do you want to advertise this video every single day for 30 days, or do you want to advertise it for just 5 days? Are you advertising a post with a special on it, or are you advertising your services in general? As you can see, as I change it from 5 days to 30 days, it goes 18,000 people down to 3,000 people. So this is the estimated daily reach. This is the estimated amount of people that will see your post. That doesn't mean engage with your post. That doesn't mean click on your profile, but that means it will pop up on their Explore feed. They could swipe right past it, and that'll still be one account that was reached. That's good to have in mind when running these advertisements. It's not guaranteed that you will have 3,000 new customers coming to your page or potential leads. These could be people that are just minorly interested in fitness. That's why we want to refine that target audience down even more. So I'm going to click next, and then it allows you to review your ad. You preview your ad, you get to check it out before you boost the post. So then after you review it, you add your payment method, press boost post. It'll lock in for the amount of days that you selected. All right, and that is how you go about boosting a post. Of course, keep in mind, this is pay to play. Of course, it will further your reach, but at the same time, with the tips and with the recommendations, I do believe that you can reach these numbers without paying any money in ads. All right, guys, that is it for episode 5 on advanced strategies for Instagram Reels. Let's jump into the recap. Hey guys, welcome to the recap of episode 5 where we jumped into advanced strategies for Instagram Reels. Today we're doing a little pop quiz for the recap. So get ready, get your pencils out, let's get going. The first question is, what do we use CapCut for? A, voiceovers, B, memes, C, auto-generated captions, or D, both C and B? I hope you chose D, because it is both B and C, auto-generated captions and memes. What is the industry standard for how many reels you should be posting per week? Is it A, 2 to 4 reels per week, B, 4 to 7 reels per week, C, 7 to 10 reels per week, or D, 15 to 30 reels per week? The industry standard for how many reels you should be posting per week, I hope you're correct, it is B, 4 to 7 reels per week. Next question, and last question. We're going to use podcasting as an example. What kind of reels should you be making to bring new listeners to your podcast? A, how to make a podcast. B, funny or valuable clips from your podcast. C, reasons podcasting sucks. D, beg viewers to listen. I hope you chose B, because it is funny or valuable clips from your podcast. We want to provide value to our viewers. We want to provide value to our target audience. That is it for episode 5 on advanced strategies for Instagram Reels. You guys are killing it. You're flying through the course. We have one more episode for you where we get into creating a reel. Hands-on, I'm going to show you exactly how to create the reel, and we're going to implement all of the strategies that we've taught you so far. I'll see you in the next episode. Excited to create a reel with you. Hey guys, welcome to episode 6. This is the last episode of the course. Congrats. We've ran through 5 other episodes. You guys are moving through it. Congratulations, you've made it this far. In this episode, we are going to be running through the exact steps of creating the best reel possible. I'm going to show you step by step, and you are going to tag along with me as we create a reel, your first reel for your brand, in starting that 90-day challenge. Let's jump into it. You guys just made it into the last episode. We're going to recap real quick all the things we learned so that we can implement them into this step-by-step strategy of creating a reel. Let's do it. The first thing we talked about in episode 1 was understanding your niche. What is your brand and how does your brand work on social media? What kind of content do you like? How do you want to represent your brand? And then we found some inspirational accounts. We started looking at their content. We liked some of them, we didn't like some of them, and we started building out a list. We started following influencers and doing all that good stuff. And then in episode 2, we talked about creating good content. How do we create good content? We started looking at those other accounts and started using that as inspiration. And then we talked about the hook method, which in my opinion is one of the strongest forms of creating a video with the goal of success. Throwing in a hook, providing value, and then a call to action. We want to hook them in with a nice looking video, provide some value to that viewer, and then we want to advertise ourselves in the end, or get them to do something for us in the end. And at the same time as we're doing that, we're capitalizing on all the trends that we viewed from those inspirational accounts. So when we combine those, we're creating great content. And then in the third episode, we talked about maximizing that content that we've been creating. And how do we maximize that content? Keywords, geotags, and collaborations. So the first one was keywords, hashtags, captions, throwing in little words like your location or keywords that relate to your brand. And then we used the geotags. We started tagging our location. If you're a storefront, we want to tag that location. Or if we're trying to target people in a certain area, we want to use our location. And then collaborating with other creators. We want to find people that are within our niche that have more followers than us. Not a whole bunch more, that'll come later. Not the millions of followers, but maybe 5,000 followers, 10,000 followers. And then we want to capitalize on collaborating with them in order to further our brand. And then in episode 4, we jumped into analytics. So after you've created your content strategy, you're collaborating with people, we want to review our analytics. We want to start seeing how well our content is performing. A few likes is awesome and whatnot, but we're going after comments, shares, and saves. Why are we going after those things? Because we want the Instagram algorithm to see that people like our content. People are sharing our content with their friends. And then the Instagram algorithm is gonna push it to the explore feed. As we're creating good content, we're split testing. Always be split testing. That is the most important thing when creating content. We wanna try out what's working, lean into it, but then also create new stuff that can potentially perform even better. Then after split testing, we got into advanced strategies or advanced tools to help further your content, which was CapCut, which is adding the captions, adding the memes, keeping you on top of trends. Then we got into scheduling, my favorite part about content creation and what I think to be the most important part of content creation. Once you've created all that content, you need to schedule it out properly and create a good rollout for your audience to see your content consistently. And in doing so, you will have a huge content library of great content that's being posted consistently and getting in front of your target audience. After that, we talked about boosting your posts with ads, which in my opinion, we could do without ads, but that option is always there if you want to speed up your growth a little bit quicker. Now we're in the final section of content creation, creating your reels. We're going to create a reel all together and implement each of those tools that we learned about in the past 5 episodes. Let's get into it. All right guys, so I'm gonna pull up a little screen recording here and I want to show you a reel that performed really well for one of our clients. And then I'm gonna break down that reel and start it all over from the beginning with you to show you exactly how we did it. So we're jumping back into our Euro restaurant client, right? So this is one of our clients here where they sell Euros. They're a storefront here in Los Angeles. They have a couple of different locations. And basically what we do to advertise their product is we show off how good it is and we show off how good it looks. So this video here in particular, I'm just gonna show you how this one works. Boom, and that's all we did. We created a reel that hooks them in, provide some value, and then we want to make a call to action. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to break this video down and I'm going to start from the very beginning with you guys. So what we did here is we filmed a video, nice lighting within our niche, and we followed this hook method. All right, so now I'm going to jump into the Instagram Reel creator. So if I go to my homepage in the scroll bar in the very bottom, we're going to click the middle section, which is an add button. And I'm just going to show you how we broke down the video step by step. So basically you've already filmed your video, you've already filmed the video, and now we are editing it all together. So follow along. So here we go. We have our, we have our 5 clips that we're going to add in here. You don't have to add them in any particular order, but you could always edit that and make the changes afterwards. So I'm going to select my clips, press next. It gives you a couple suggested audios. So I'm going to scroll through, maybe listen to them and see if it fits the type of style that I want to promote through this video. Of course, we want to make sure it stays on brand. If you don't want certain things said in the music that you're promoting through, let's make sure not to use that. So you know what I mean? Let's listen to the song and make sure it sticks within our brand. All right, boom. We're going to hit this song right here, Met Her on the Dance Floor. Let's run it. Press next. And then it does like kind of an auto edit for you. We don't want to run the auto edit. We want to make sure to stick with that hook method, right? So I'm going to go to edit video. And what do we want to start with? We want to start with the hook. We want to start with the best image, the most attention-grabbing image. So I'm going to pull that last image, which is where we do the official dip. In the bottom little menu, there's a reorder option. So I'm going to click on reorder, and I'm going to put the best clip, in my opinion, in the front. Why do we want to put that clip in the front? Is because we want to catch the viewer's eye. I'm going to change the order of the clips to follow that hook method. So what I'm going to do, and what I want to do with this video, because I'm replicating the one that performed well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the hook in the front, and then I'm going to provide some value in the middle, which is building out the Euro itself. So boom, we're flipping it. We're adding the veggies, throwing the meat on there, adding the sauce, and then I'm going to click done. All right, things are getting hot in here. We're removing the jacket. What it's doing is it's automatically trimming some of my videos to fit the songs, but no need to worry. You just click on the video. You could drag to where you want it. But I'm going to throw the dip right in the beginning because I think that is what's going to grab people's attention right off the bat. Put this dip. Come on, that's irresistible. There we go. So we got the dip. We don't want the clip to last too long though. You know, what are we going for? We have about 1 to 2 seconds to catch people's attention. We want to throw the dip in there and then we want to move on to the rest of the video. So get the dip in there, trim the dip down to where we're running about 2 seconds, about 2.5 seconds. So immediately when someone scrolls, they're going to see the dip and go, whoa, what's going on? Boom, we move to the flip. We're now flipping this Euro. So now they know they're getting into, you know, like a cooking video basically. So we show the final product, we jump right into the cooking of the Euro. And as you can see, Instagram is kind of auto trimming that for me, but it's not auto trimming to the clips that I necessarily want. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep scrolling through. And we only want the best sections of the video. We don't want any hang time before, you know, showing just a still. Every section of the video matters. We want to continuously just be showing the action every time. So as you can see, we flip it and then we move on. Right away, we're already placing the lettuce down. We don't want any of this watching the Euro, just watching the pita bread just sitting there. So we want to immediately trim right to the spot where it's being placed on top. Okay, now that we saw it placed on top, I'm gonna split that clip because we have some more veggies going on top, and I'm gonna trim to the next veggie dropping on top. Right as it's dropping. So boom, we got that. It's jumping to the next thing. Only the action shots. Boom, flip, lettuce, immediately tomato, and then maybe even the tomato's a little bit long. We wanna trim it down. flip, lettuce, tomato right away. Now we're moving on already. We're so fast. And why we're doing this? Because people's attention span isn't gonna lock in to watch what we're providing. You know, we wanna provide value, but we wanna provide that value quickly. So like I said, scroll to just the action spots. So right before they drop it, I'm gonna put it right there. I'm gonna split that clip and delete the one right before it. So now it's moving super fast. Boom, boom. I'm gonna trim this one all the way until the next meat is thrown on. So we got lettuce, tomato, one meat, second meat. So look how fast this edit is moving. It's almost like you can't take your eyes off of it. So like I said, we throw the hook in there and then provide value throughout the middle, and we are flying through the value. So then we have the whole gyro built out. This is what captures people's eye a lot of the time, is this sauce being poured right over top of the gyro. So we want it about midway through so we don't waste any time. Boom. Sauce is being put on. I'm even gonna speed up that sauce a little bit more. So as you can see, I split one clip in half and even sped it up a little bit. See what's happening there? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split this clip because I want it in the end. Reorder. And I'm gonna bring this clip to the end so that when people are watching it, it's going to loop. They're gonna keep watching it and they're gonna watch all the way to the end and the video is going to loop. So you see how it starts with the dip here. Then I'm gonna bring the dip to the end. Show the middle a little bit more so that it splits. We see the sauce and then it restarts right there. You see how it restarted? Restarts. Boom. And now you have a video with a hook method, value throughout the middle, and then we're gonna place the call to action here at the end. So far we have added no text throughout this video yet. All right, so what we're gonna do is right here in the beginning, since this is a restaurant based in Los Angeles, we are gonna focus on the Los Angeles demographic. So in the beginning of the video here, we have that hook, you know, the dip, the thing that we think that our target audience is most interested in. So we have the dip into the sauce. Now I'm gonna add text right here. And I'm gonna put best gyro in Los Angeles. I'm gonna throw a little pin on here. I even think the in right here is a little big, so I'm just gonna put it right there. We could even change the color of this here. Have it stand out a little bit more. Let's change the font on that. Okay, and now from here, we've written best gyro Los Angeles. We put some emojis on there. We changed the color of Los Angeles. We want to add little things that are going to make that text pop a little bit more. We don't want this text huge on top of the screen. And why do we not want that? Because we want that hook image to still track people in. But we want this best gyro to be a secondary thing. One that's tracking the Instagram algorithm and following that keyword search and whatnot, but we're gonna move it around. And as you can see, when you scroll down to the bottom, it hovers a little image of what it's gonna look like when it's officially posted. So it shows you your name is gonna be down there, maybe a few things. And that's basically showing you what the viewer is gonna see. So we wanna bring it up so it's not touching any of that text down there. So we wanna bring it up, make it just big enough that we could still see that hook, but then also the text is appearing there below it. So now we have that, and then we want to trim it. We don't want it to say best gyro Los Angeles the entire video, so I'm going to trim this down. If you click down here at the bottom, and we want to trim it down a little bit so it doesn't last through the entire video. So as you can see right here, it shows you your text. It does give you some suggestions as to where to stop the clip, which is great, and we're going to trim it right to the end of this clip so that it goes like this. So see how we hook people in, they're like, whoa, what am I watching? Boom, it says best gyro Los Angeles, and then it gets right into the recipe. We're now providing value. So we want to market to them real quickly you know, to hook them in. And then they're like, oh, I'm in Los Angeles. I like gyros. Oh, well, now we're building a gyro all together. And it's speeding through it. We want to quickly move through that. And now the video just looped, and now they're watching it a second time. So this is exactly what we want to do. We want to place that text in the beginning, and then at the end, we want to place our call to action. So this comes back to that goal that we talked about in episode 1 and 2. What is your goal? Do you want to bring people into the restaurant? Do you want to drive them to your website? Do you want more followers? What do you want? So for us, for this restaurant, we want to drive people into the restaurant. So we've already added best gyros in Los Angeles, right? Now at the end, we're going to place another piece of text. Right here at the bottom, we're going to add text. I'm going to put stop in. And with that stop in, I'm going to add it there. I'm going to trim my text so it's not during the entire video, but it pops in right there at the end. Stop in. Maybe I'll add another piece of text right under it with a couple of their locations. What do we have? Canoga Park. West LA, Pasadena. So here's just a few of their locations that we're going to add in there. Format it so it looks kind of nice. Maybe change the text on this one. And then I'm going to place it right underneath. But do you see how now I'm falling into the caption area? So we want to bring it up a little bit. Let's bring up this whole thing. Maybe I'll put it off to the side. Change the color on it too. Let's change the color. I'm gonna make this red too. Add an outline on it. There we go. Boom. Done. Now this text is kind of in the way, so I'm gonna edit this up a little bit. I'm gonna shift it around. I'm gonna put stop in up here. Okay, great. Now we have our call to action in there. We put some of their locations. I'm gonna go back. Let's click on edit. So now we're still in the edit mode. And as you can see, we got our hook. Boom, best gyros in Los Angeles. We know who wants to watch it. We have our value being provided quickly through the middle. We show it off and it loops right away. We could even make this a little bit longer. Stop in Canoga Park. We could even make this text a little bit longer. Make our call to action a little longer. Let's see. Stop in. Boom. So now we have a great video. We have the hook. We implemented some of those keywords like Los Angeles, Euro. We know who we're targeting. We're providing value throughout the middle. And at the very end, we have a call to action. Stop in. Here's some of our locations. We are making reels. We're making short form content for people who do not know who we are already. We want to pop up on the explore page. We want to pop up on that Reels feed, and those are people who do not follow you already. So what's great is now we have the location in there. So if you're a storefront, this is great. We're advertising to people around you. And then I'm just gonna press done. I'm gonna press that arrow to the right. Now we're over here showing you the preview of what it'll look like. You could edit the cover if you want to. What I always recommend is just putting the most, mouth-watering cover. We have the greatest looking cover. You could go over to the profile grid and even like move it around here. Make sure it looks good on your profile grid. Back to cover. Let's do that. Let's pick that one. Okay, so I'm gonna press done there. And then we're gonna write a caption. This is going back to episode 2, where we talked about using keywords, using words that matter for the search bar. So if we are a Euro stand, we're gonna put the word Euro in there. If they make the best chicken gyros or the best pork gyros, we're gonna put pork in there. We're gonna put chicken in there. We're gonna use hashtags like Euro. Or if you're a podcast, you're gonna use the podcast. If you're a funny podcast, if you're informational podcast, you're gonna use funny. You're gonna use how to. So whatever your brand is, we're gonna go back to episode 2 and use those keywords in this caption. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a short caption. We don't want it to be too long because we want people to skim over it real quick, see exactly what they need to see and move on. The best gyros in Hollywood, California. We have yet to put California and we've yet to put Hollywood in there. So I'm going to throw in Hollywood, California. And let's throw in a couple of hashtags. And I'm going to throw in some extra stuff. I'm throwing authentic halal food. What's popular in the New York area is halal cart. So I'm going to throw in halal cart. I know that's a popular search. And how do we know that? Because we were searching for those keywords. In episode 1 and 2, we searched some keywords relative to our brand. So these are some keywords that are relative to this brand. So I'm gonna put authentic, halal cart, food, put in some other keywords, put halal there. And we don't want to get too crazy. We don't want to put 1,000 hashtags, but maybe, you know, anywhere from 5 to 10, because we want our caption to look good still. So now that we've done our caption, we have the caption, and then we want to scroll through some of those other key points that we talked about in past episodes. We talked about keywords and geotags. So I know we added in the word Los Angeles, and then in the caption, we also added in Hollywood, California, but now it provides the option to actually add an exact location. So I'm going to click on the location tab. Let's type in one of the locations that their business is located. So here is Pasadena, California. So that's great. So now you have Hollywood as an option, you have Pasadena as a location, and Los Angeles as a location in those keywords that we're using. So now that we have a fully edited video, we followed that hook method, we use keywords in the text on video, in the caption, and now we've added a geotag. The next thing we talked about was collaborations. So for this video, we didn't collaborate with an influencer or anything like that, but a good way to add small collaborations is to tag accounts. And what accounts do we want to tag? So going back to episode 1 and 2, where we talked about some other influencers, some other inspirational accounts, what we're going to do is tag accounts that would potentially share our content. Who does my clientele follow? So for example, this restaurant is probably looking for clients that are following a Los Angeles-based influencer, a foodie account, or a foodie influencer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go start looking up things like Yelp. So we have Yelp LA as an option, which is great because that's a Yelp page based in Los Angeles. I'm sure that they share Los Angeles-based restaurants. So I'm going to click Yelp LA. Another one that I know about, we've now created this list of inspirational accounts, is Infatuation. So Infatuation is an account that reposts food and they go visit different restaurants in Los Angeles. So I'm going to click on the Los Angeles one. And what I would recommend is putting about 3 to 5 different tagged accounts. So let's just do 2 for now. I'm going to press done here. Okay, and now that we have all these key points from the last episodes that we learned about, we are now going to go down to schedule this content. Like I said, we want to be days ahead of our schedule. So after we've created the content calendar and we're applying all of these things to each post, we're going to go down, advanced settings, schedule this reel right here, press schedule. Let's shoot for tomorrow. Depending on how many videos you're making, you could schedule a week in advance. You could schedule all the way out to a month. So I'm going to go tomorrow. Let's shoot for those times that we recommended to you. So which one of them is 8 a.m. here. Select time, and now it's scheduled and ready to go for tomorrow. All right, so now we have just walked through step by step how to create a reel together. I hope that you were able to follow along, implementing each of those tools to create the best possible video that we could post to your reels. All right, guys, that is it for creating a reel. Thank you so much for tagging along. I hope that this was a fun and enjoyable learning experience for you guys. I'm excited to see how well your content is performing. Best of luck out there. Let's move on to the recap. Great job, guys. You just finished up episode 6 where we walked through step by step how to create a reel. What we did was I showed you my screen and we created a reel all together. So we started out with good lighting, some good camera movements, and then we moved on to actually putting it into Instagram and starting to create a reel. So what we did was we showed you some different editing tricks, where to add the music, and then we followed that hook method. Hook them in, provide value, then a call to action so you could drive in an audience to your brand. And then we went through creating a caption, some keywords, putting them in your video, putting them on the caption, some hashtags, and then we added geotags. What we want to do is keep adding these different keywords to help push your video in front of the right people. And then what we did was we scheduled all of that content. We went into the Instagram scheduler and placed it to post for tomorrow. Like I said before, build out that content calendar, know what days you're posting what content, and stick to it. Be consistent. And boom, you got your first piece of great content. Like I said in the last episode, I do challenge you to 3 months, 90 days of videos posted to your page so that you can see the amazing results that it provides. All right, guys, that is it for the Instagram Reels course. Thank you so much for tuning in and congratulations for completing this entire thing. I'm so excited to see you guys' results. Please let me know if you have any questions and good luck on your Reels journey. We'll see you around.